You ready, Zach? What's going on? And welcome to another live episode of Breaking Down the Tape. I am Hector. I said what I said.
And I'm Zach. I'm eating what I eat tonight, but I'm actually drinking, so couldn't bring that back, though.
And tonight is a special night. We have a homegrown special guest. We got my buddy Mike Nice.
Mike
Earn. And birthday boy's in the bathroom right now. He's getting old. No, Marcus hasn't been on. My best friend Marcus, our little hembo in the background.
That just sounds wrong. Our little hembo.
In the background, Marcus. He comes ready, bearing gifts, bearing Yoda t-shirts, and there he goes right there.
Happy birthday, brother!
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Football guru right there.
Thank you guys for introducing me. I just want to say it's an honor and a privilege to be here. Thank you.
I said it before and I'll say it again. The last time I saw Mike, first of all, there was like a 10-year gap in between seeing Mike after high school. And then the first time I see him for 30 minutes. And then I'm like falling all over the ground, drunk and high. It was a long night.
It's a perfect night right now. We got Marcus's birthday. We got a little reunion and a little shout out to everyone. This is 3 of my groomsmen for my wedding.
Yeah, buddy. You know it's going to be a party.
That's an elite group of people to be in.
Who's taking a little bit of offense? He thought he was your best friend.
Hey, you're my best friend on Sports Me, Hoove.
Now I just feel left out. But guys, today we have a whole bunch of topics we want to talk about. There's been a whole bunch of important shit going on in sports. I know I want to talk about name, image, and likeness. Mike and Marcus have shit they want to talk about, and I'm excited to have their opinions on shit. So I'll let you guys, guess birthday boy first. Sorry, Mike, to put you second, but I gotta let Marcus go first if he's in the area.
That's all right. That's cool.
So we want to lead with what the topic would be, right? So my thought was very much about the NFL draft. Everyone who knows me knows that football is what I live and what I love, and something that drives me crazy is this premium on first-round quarterbacks. Because I started thinking, and how many of these guys really have won Super Bowls? We're looking at the greats and the guys that we see as these great quarterbacks. Not many of them went in early picks. So so that's what I dropped to you. What do you think about this premium on your guys like Trevor Lawrence and the Baker Mayfields and the recent guys of the world?
So I mean, my hatred for quarterbacks is pretty well known. I don't think that they really matter much to games outside of your fucking gods on a football field. So first round quarterbacks don't mean shit to me, and I don't think they should ever start their first year anyway. I hate the fact that we put this ridiculous fucking premium on them. I just think it's stupid because the math doesn't play out. It almost never does statistically play out in favor of the team that drafts them.
All right, you ready for a counterpoint there, Smurf?
Go ahead, hit me with it.
Statistically, it's going to be fairly unlikely anyway because there's 32 teams and only one quarterback wins the Super Bowl. So when we always talk about like quarterbacks and Super Bowls and stuff like that, statistically, only one of 32 guys is ever going to win it in a year. So that's 31 guys that we always say like
didn't win the Super Bowl.
We
hold that
exactly.
As like the
I understand where Marcus is coming from. Before we went live, I said it. I was like, think about it. How many first-round quarterbacks win a Super Bowl? And I'm like, Patrick Mahomes, Peyton Manning. Can you name another off the top of your head?
Drew Brees went in the last pick of the first round, didn't he? Was he like pick 30?
But who remembers that?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. There's not that many first-round guys you can think of.
And look at who you just named. Look at the names that you named. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'll give you one. Who wouldn't want to have Lamar Jackson? And he was the last pick of the first round. So
I like, as a person, I like Lamar. I don't like. I'm so biased against mobile quarterbacks. It's not even funny.
I gotta speak to that because I'm so with you on that, Smurf. And I live in Rhode Island. I live in New England, so everything I listen to is Boston radio. And I'm also sick of the Cam Newton train. But I want to say, and not to doubt any of his talent, but I have never liked Cam Newton as a player. Like if I was in a front office, Cam Newton would not be the guy that I start build my franchise around. But for that same notion, the mobile quarterback, I like the extra. Maybe like I'm a big Danny Dimes fan. I'll say it over and over again. I like a little bit of wheels. But
until you get tripped up by the 20-yard line.
Yeah, until you're fumbling, until you're getting
define wheels.
But you don't need a running quarterback. You want a mobile quarterback that's going to extend the play and give you 5, maybe 7 yards, can potentially get you a first down, but you don't need the man to lead your team in rushing yards.
That's absurd to me.
You don't need that.
Football's a simple game. It's a very simple fucking game. Quarterbacks throw the ball. Yes. I want a guy who can get outside the pocket if he needs to and extend plays. Like you said, maybe 10 yards. Cool. If he breaks the fucking 40-yard, fuck, awesome. But that's not what I want him to do.
Now, Zach's thing about first-round quarterbacks is he thinks they shouldn't start year one, which I understand.
Any rookie quarterback. Any rookie quarterback
should start week one. But there are key situations where you kind of have to start your rookie quarterback week one.
Like, unless, like, your first string, your second string, and your coach all go down, yeah, maybe. But there's no reason in my mind outside of, like, the most extreme circumstances. In case of A, what's up? And yes, holy VC, Batman. But no, I firmly believe that first round, or any quarterback shouldn't start in their first year.
Right, well,
I mean, look at the guys who didn't.
I know about first round quarterbacks. Right? So I'm a Titans fan, how I mentioned before. we had the worst first round quarterback situation. We got Jake Locker, dude. We took Jake Locker at like 8 overall.
That's tough.
And he do like a year and a half. And like, look, respect to the guy. Do what's best for your health, bro. That's your life.
For sure.
Just like that goes to prove a point, though. Like sometimes you don't. I can name a few others. Josh Rosen. So what was he, 6 or 8? That same range.
And he hasn't got a since.
You don't even hear his name anymore. It's only like 2 or 3 years.
But technically, Josh Rosen is the first quarterback of that draft to win a Super Bowl if the Bucks give him a ring, because he was on the practice squad of the Bucks last year. Some teams have given practice squad players Super Bowl rings, so very, very technically, he could be the first of that draft to have a Super Bowl ring.
Okay, but because Josh Rosen was on the practice squad.
Good situation. So, Miami picked him up, didn't really give him a shot. Traded him to, I think, Arizona. They didn't really give him a shot. And then, where's he at now? You said he's on practice squad Tampa Bay, which is not a hard position to be in. I mean, you're behind Tom Brady. You get to learn bits and pieces and try to find your way back onto the field.
You're like adjacent to Tom Brady, but yeah, no, I mean,
you're like that sixth cousin.
You ever seen that movie Shark Tale, that animated movie where he goes through like all the shit that's above Will Smith in that movie? Like that's Josh Rosen. There's like levels of shit, and then there's dog shit, and then there's Josh Rosen.
Yeah, but I feel like he should get a shot. I feel like he should get a shot somewhere.
Nope. Nowhere. Maybe I'm like Valley Central's high school team.
Well, that wouldn't be a fair competitive.
I mean, I would still pick Shane.
Bring back Shane.
Feel like a lot of bias comes in there. So here's a question, by the way, from HoofTube. By the way, check out HoofTube on YouTube. When will the Jets trade for Nick Foles? So this seems like a dumb question, except for the fact that there's been a lot of buzz around the Jets potentially trading for Foles as a backup, clearly as a backup. You don't draft the number 2 guy and then go ahead and fucking trade for Nick Foles.
But I thought you said all rookies shouldn't start week 1.
Yeah, Smurf. Let's answer that question, man. But you haven't like heard the list of all the first round quarterbacks that did come out. Aaron Rodgers, Alex Smith, who people thought was a bust but came back. Lamar Jackson, Ryan Tannehill, who starts for the Titans. He had that weird one where he was. And how many guys? But then you think of value. Russell Wilson. That was like 3rd or 4th round.
That was 4th round.
So look, like let's say top 3 quarterbacks: Tom Brady, Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers, or something like that.
Right.
That's only 33%. Only one guy was taken in the first round. So you have a point, but at the same time, you can also get a very, very quality player. It's all about getting the right guy.
Right. And my issue is that you spend so much, and a lot of the guys that you've talked about, correct me if I'm wrong, were later in the first round. I mean, Lamar Jackson was 32nd, and according to everybody else, had no goddamn business being drafted in the first round in the first place. Yeah. You know, and where did you say Aaron Rodgers went?
24.
Okay, 24. You know what I mean? So these are guys that could have easily slipped out of the first round that we're talking about here. I mean, I get what you're saying, and it really is all about finding value. Just the way I look at college when I watch the game of college and watch what quarterbacks do there, and then I watch the NFL, it's like watching two different sports. Yes, it's still football, but these guys have such a leap in learning that I don't know if I would ever spend. I'd rather go out and get a tackle or guard or, a D tackle or even a safety over a fucking quarterback. Because I feel like those learning curves are a lot lower than it is at the quarterback position.
Agreed, bro. Agreed. It's a fair point.
So that's all I'm saying. But to Hoov's point, do you guys think that that the Jets are going to draft for Nick Foles?
Trade
for Nick Foles. Trade.
What do you think, bro?
Trade for.
Makes a lot of sense.
It makes sense, but from what the Bears are trying to do, it looks like Nick Foles is part of.
Every day,
it's part of like their plan, I guess.
Yeah, but they have two journeyman quarterbacks. They've got the Red Rocket and Nick Foles. So why have Big Dick Nick when you have the Red Rocket?
Yeah, he might.
Okay last year.
Andy Dalton might start the season because he's been promised the start of the season. I don't see him being the starter, honestly, like past week 4.
That's fair.
And then it just comes down to, are they going to put Justin Fields on the field or are they going to put Nick Foles on the field? That's why I'm like, I don't know. Get it. The Jets might be able to throw a trade out there that's not you can't give it up.
Right.
You can always get a backup QB.
Nick Foles is still on the Bears right
now?
He's a
third they've got Andy Dalton, Nick Foles, and Justin Fields. It's a crowded quarterback room. I mean, I get having one journeyman like Andy Dalton and Nick Foles. I get having one of them, but having two of them and Justin Fields just doesn't make much sense to me.
I don't think. I mean, here's the thing. So how you were talking about value, right? Like, does this guy, can you get a better player for what you paid? Could the Jets improve their roster in another way? Like, how does Nick Foles really make the Jets a better team if they trade for him? Do you think that the Jets will be better if they trade for Nick Foles?
Zach Wilson has someone to learn from. The guys.
So yes.
Okay.
Yes, from multiple paths. Yes, because I don't believe rookie quarterbacks should ever start. So I think Nick Foles is a great Band-Aid for the first year to let Zach Wilson learn. And if you're not of my mindset and you want Zach Wilson to learn, he's a good journeyman quarterback who I don't think is going to win you games. God forbid Zach Wilson needs to get benched or gets hurt, but he's not going to lose you games. He's not going to fuck up so bad that you're like, okay, we're going 0-17 for the first time in NFL history. We'll win fucking like 5 games with him if we have to, So yes, I do. I don't even know who their backup is. So it's an improvement, but like you said, for value, what am I giving up? Am I giving up a 7th round? Yeah, okay, fuck it, sure.
All right, so here's a little anecdote. So Titans had the same situation with Vince Young. Took Vince Young. Early on, looked good. Went off the rails a little bit. The Titans had Kerry Collins, who at that point people were just like, he's just a journeyman backup. Like,
right.
He came in and he won 13 games one year. And so you never really, it's true, you don't know when a guy's just going to pull it off and just go win 10 games. So, I think Nick Foles, I'm not saying he's going to win them 10 games. But he has some young offensive linemen. If he can just like teach the guys how to, make plays, then
fuck up. Yeah. And I mean, look, Nick Foles is your like consummate journeyman quarterback. Do I think he could ever pull off his late season Super Bowl run again? No. But there is like the most minuscule of percentages that, God forbid, we need Nick Foles in the playoff. There's a fucking minuscule, like 0.01% chance that he pulls that shit out of his ass again.
I look
at him giving up a 7th round pick for it. Yeah, fuck it.
Look at it. Nick Foles is the closest thing to our old Fitzmagic.
And his nickname is Big Dick Nick. How do you not trade for a guy whose nickname is Big Dick Nick?
What's better than Fitzmagic? You got to go Big Dick Nick.
Right. If you're going to have, like, especially if we're just coming down to, like, ranking backups by their nicknames, you can only follow up Fitzmagic by Big Dick Nick. That's That's it. So
I
that's
don't
just
know
me.
who gave him that name, but
I think like all of Philadelphia when they gave him that fucking statue. First of all, by the way, how did we not see the writing on the wall with that shit? Your starting quarterback doesn't get a statue, but your backup does. Whoo-wee.
So that happens when the backup's the Super Bowl winning MVP.
Jesus Christ! Yeah,
comment.
Which one? The Colts plan to draft Russell Wilson to back up Andrew Luck before the Seattle Seahawks took him?
That's just
that would have been wild.
Yeah, Mr.
Hoove, if you have like sources to back that up, we would love to see that.
Owner of the Green Bay Packers.
Yes, he is. He lives in Green Bay, Wisconsin.
The Green Bay Packer doesn't have an owner; it's stakes.
Oh, I
he
get
has
it.
A stake.
I get it. Oh, big ups, Hoove. Big ups, bro.
His family has a stake.
We've talked about it before, but for all those who don't know, like Green Bay doesn't have technically an official owner. It is the town, the city of Green Bay. So therefore, if you're
I like to negotiate a price for your share. Send me a price, Hoove.
He wants Aaron Rodgers' left nut
on a silver platter, gold-plated,
bronzed up like fucking Lance Armstrong.
There you go. All right, Mike, hit me with whatever topic you want to bring up.
Oh shit, dude! I already talked so much. No, thank you. I heard you guys already did a section on Julio Jones to the Titans, but I'm a Titans fan.
About it again.
That's my theme tonight. And I mean, do you think Julio Jones on the Titans makes us a top 5 offense?
Yes, but fringe. I can see them floating around like 5 to 7, anywhere in that range. And that is me trying to remain realistic because I'm not going to lie, like I'm super high on this hype train right now. I'm super high on what the fuck are you going to do? Stack the box with 8 against Derrick Henry? Okay, then you're going to make Ryan Tannehill look like an MVP. Awesome. Good job for you. What are you going to do? Put in a nickel or a dime package and let Derrick Henry run all down your throat? You're going to make him the MVP. So, I mean, I'm high on the hype train, but realistically, I'm thinking like 5 to 7.
Okay.
How are you feeling about that? How high on that hype train?
Offense before Julio Jones.
Because last year I think we scored the
most.
They were
a top 5 offense before Julio Jones.
They were second in efficiency.
5 before Julio Jones. Now you put Julio Jones, they're at least top 3 offenses in the league.
Thank you for saying that.
Top 3. You couldn't stop Derrick Henry before Julio Jones got there. Sure. You couldn't stop Brown before Julio Jones got there. You couldn't stop Tannehill before Julio got there. What you gonna do when Julio's on the field?
I agree with that wholeheartedly.
All-time leader in yaks per game.
That's what I'm saying is you have to bracket him, and if you bracket him, then you're just gonna let Derrick Henry fucking run free, or AJ Brown's gonna be open on the other side. It's absurd.
So a little game I like to play in my head when I like to consider the Titans' outcomes. I like to play best case scenario, worst case scenario, right? So, dude, best case scenario, we're the number 1 offense in the league. And it's totally realistic because last year, even without Julio Jones, we had Corey Davis, who was good. Sure. So now Julio takes his snaps. We were one of the top scoring teams. We were totally in the top 5 in almost every offensive category. Our defense was just terrible. But I think Julio Jones is better than Corey Davis. So as far as I can tell, it's an upgrade. Everybody else is back. Best case scenario would be Derrick Henry gets another 2,000. AJ Brown gets 1,000. Julio Jones gets 1,000. And that's tons of production. Yeah. And then whatever, the third, the fourth, the fifth guys are probably like 200 or 300 apiece.
Sure.
They're not going to be crazy.
What do you think, Mark?
I definitely I was a little slow on them until the last 2 years. I've had Derrick Henry on my fantasy team, which has forced me to watch a lot more Titans games. And without Julio Jones, Tannehill was a sleeper in some of my fantasy picks, bringing him back to fantasy football. Yeah. Grabbed him real late, and just the numbers he was putting up, the yardage, that slight mobility like we talked about earlier, where he can get you that 10 yards. He's not looking for it, but he can get you that 10 yards on his feet.
He's got wiggle.
It's a lot of promise. I'm looking at that team like they could be the number 1 offense. I'm just trying to figure out which and how to grab them in fantasy. That's where my head's at right now. Where is your price on AJ Brown now that they have Julio? Is it higher? Is it lower? Do you want to grab them both? What kind of – And either way,
if you're able to steal both of them on your squad, oh my!
Either way, before I even get to them, I'm hoping to have a top 3 pick to take Derrick Henry. So like that is definitely a team that I've been looking at. And like I said, if I'm picking up Madden right now, I'm using I'm hoping I get the Titans on random because it's going to be a fun team to use.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. I want to start a movement. Every time Derrick Henry gets one of those 6 stiff arms, he should get an extra fantasy point.
I'll put it to ESPN.
Turns into a meme. He gets a point.
Dude, ESPN played that highlight all season, bro. You gotta tell me.
How about the Josh Norman? Norman getting thrown.
I mean, there was a few, but that was the one that got viral. Yeah, dude. I was watching. That was a Thursday night game, or it was like a weird night.
It was a primetime game.
It was a primetime game, dude, and we whooped them, bro. We beat the Bills by like 30.
So
that was sick.
I don't know. So, covering fantasy, I don't know if I would stack both Brown and Julio, but if I could get like Tannehill and if I could get Derrick Henry, Tannehill, and one of those two,
golden.
Yeah. Yes. Thank you. Yes.
Golden.
But I don't know if I would get all 4.
I think it's almost impossible to get all 4 unless you're making a trade somehow.
Well, then here's a question for you. So let's say you're looking in the 4th round. And Julio's on the board, right? Are you grabbing Julio? And if so, do you think you get all 17 games out of him? Like, how many games, realistically? And, like, yeah, he's great, but let's talk about the injuries now, right? How many games do you really think? And I didn't know this because I got him last year, and every game he played, I did not regret it.
You actually got a trade from Christie, yeah.
But he only played 8 games last year. So, like, I got a bunch of great games, but how many misses? How many benches? So what I'm asking, I guess, do you think he's worth the 4th round pick?
Yeah, I think he's worth. For sure. I think he's worth the 4th round. Now, how many games? I think he'll play more in Tennessee because there's so much less pressure on him. Yeah. I mean, yes, we had Calvin Ridley have a good year in Atlanta, but you didn't have Tennessee is a run-first football team. There's just no way around that. So you're going to see him produce, I think, more in a shorter period of time, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, a lot of sense, yeah.
I give him he'll play 12, 13 games. They'll give him
10. We'll call him that right now. 10
games. I'm calling 10 to 12 is where I feel comfortable, and I still think he's worth a 4th.
Yeah.
And now going back to Mike's best to worst, calling 2,000-yard receivers with a 2,000-yard rusher, that's dreaming, dog. I don't do that. I mean, that's a best case scenario.
I didn't go to the worst case scenario,
and that's what they're projecting right now. They're projecting another 2,000-yard.
Yeah. So, what do you think as far as record goes? What do you calling their record?
Well, let's go. So, so best case scenario, if all that happened, probably 13-4, 14-3.
Wow, that's nicer than me.
Just either or, because you know how close some games are. We don't have a very good field goal kicker right now, so we could easily lose a game by 3 points anytime. Now, worst case scenario, Ryan Tannehill regresses to an extent.
Right.
He doesn't play at the same level.
Either way, I think 10 wins is the minimum.
Well, no, okay, but no, we're going
easy enough to win the division.
Absolutely worst case. Julio Jones gets hurt, only plays 7 or 8 games. AJ Brown plays 12 games. Derrick Henry plays 15. Not every game.
Sure.
And then we're just not quite good enough to go through the whole season. I think we'd still end up 8 wins, 9 wins. I don't think
I could see a 10-7, and that's still good enough to win the division.
Yeah, because even if one guy goes down,
I don't trust Wentz. And the Colts is a squad. I just don't know how Wentz is going to do there.
We have a luxury.
And what he's going to do, how he's capable of handling his situation.
Yeah, we're going to go to Wentz right now. I'm just saying. We are lucky because we have 2 number 1 receivers. So even if something happens to them, we still have a legitimate number 1 guy. But no, we're off. My topic's done. It's finished. 13-4, 14-3, best case. Worst case, 8 and 9.
Maybe I want to give my best case. Have you ever thought about that, Mike? You ever thought about me? All right, maybe I want to be.
My fault. All right, I'm passing you the mic, bro. Here's the mic.
So no, best case. Honestly, I'm thinking 15-2. Best case. Hand to God. Okay. Hand to God. Worst case, I'm calling 10-7. I don't think they drop any more than 7 games. I think that offense is that good, even under the scenario that you offered.
Do it, dude. Take it there.
I could.
You could.
Tonight is the extra in-depth episode. So here's what we did. we doubled our brain power.
My charger.
We had two brains, and now we have 4 brains at once.
4 brains.
So that is just gonna
Get the one in the back room.
quadruple all of
As
the
it's longer.
brilliance that this
Oh,
show
yeah.
encapsulates.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I'm drinking again. I spent the last 2 episodes sober, so there's no fucking way.
It's like a palace, looking like a king in there, man.
Right? oh, Yeah, my I've been relegated to my basement, so yeah, that's where I'm at.
Cool.
Oh yeah, he got a little like man cave ish now.
Yeah, well, I've got the foster kid in the spare bedroom. I got the baby on the way, so I'm being kicked out down here. So that's how we're looking. Hector, do you have a topic, sir, that you would like to bring up?
Yes. I want to kind of switch it over a bit to some basketball. I know it's not your forte, but you do know a little bit.
I know enough to make me dangerous.
And I do have some guys here today that do know basketball.
It's true.
All right, right on.
Chris Paul, finally, after 16 seasons,
Yeah, dude.
takes the team to the finals. They say he picked Phoenix because of Devin Booker. And do you think? I mean, right now Atlanta's playing the Bucks.
They're losing 32-16.
Giannis is out, and I think they're spanking the Hawks right now, 32-12. From what I think, the Bucks is going to go to the finals, and maybe Giannis is maybe not at 100%.
Right.
I got Paul winning his first. I just want to know what people think about, one, what this does to his career. Is he like a top 5 PG in most people's eyes now? He gets a lot of disrespect saying, oh, he hasn't, made it to the finals, hasn't won a chip. Well, now he has, and he has a chance to, and I think he will.
So I'll let you guys answer that first, since I'm like the least basketball person.
Yeah, I got it.
So hit me, Mike.
Bro, this is a great topic. I want to talk about this topic. I've been thinking about this. It's so multifaceted, right? Chris Paul getting to his first finals and he's going to win a championship. Maybe has a very good shot to win one. I'm just going to start with the list of guys that I would like to see win a championship who have not even been to a finals. Carmelo Anthony.
Oh, he took the words right out of my mouth. The only person I want to see win a shit more than Chris Paul is Melo.
Yeah.
And I want them both to win one so bad.
That
was literally the worst.
Well, bro, this is we are in
head.
New York. We are in New York. We're in downstate New York. And we just want everyone to know that Melo, go to the Suns, bro. Go to the Suns next year with Chris Paul.
Come back to the Knicks.
And just be the 7th or 8th man, bro, and get a chip. Do it. It'll be fly, bro. It'll be fly.
It'll be worth it for everybody.
Yeah. All right. So if Chris Paul wins it, he's definitely a top 5 point guard of all time. He's considered the best, like, pure floor general of his generation.
I can see that.
And he was the number 1 overall pick. When he came out, he was the top pick out of Wake Forest.
I didn't know that. Okay.
He was with the Hornets. That's who drafted him. That was when they were in New Orleans.
Right.
New Orleans Hornets. And like you could tell he was great. He was on a terrible team, dude.
Sure.
And then the Lakers wanted to trade for him.
11, and we spoke about that. They denied it.
And the old commissioner, David Stern, vetoed the trade. And everyone was like, no, he had never vetoed a trade before, dude.
Right.
Like, everyone was like, what? And
wasn't
so
just the fear of the super teams, right? Like that was the issue. Is he didn't want super teams.
He just knew him and Kobe Bryant would just be unstoppable backcourt. So for the that's what I think what he said, the competitive balance of the league, which we know now is we know now. Look at go on, so on and so forth. But yeah, just to answer Hector's question directly, I do think the Suns have a very good chance to win either over the Bucks or the Hawks. It doesn't even matter. Both of those teams have gotten injured. Both of those teams are facing injuries right now. So regardless of who wins, both teams are going to be a little bit beat up. And then, man, and I just don't think there's anyone else that deserves it more than him and Carmelo Anthony. And then the last point is I definitely think he's top 5. Top 5 point guards. I mean, shit, it's crazy because we live in a great era. You have to have Magic Johnson in there, but after that, you're talking about guys. You could say like Steph Curry. You could say Chris Paul.
Dame.
No, I wouldn't say Dame yet. But then like Jason Kidd, John Stockton, those are older guys, but you wouldn't even really Steve Nash, but you wouldn't put them ahead of, and there's other great point guards I'm just not thinking of right now. But yeah,
right.
He's definitely been the best one for like the last probably 10 seasons.
I mean,
Mark.
what little I know, I could agree with that. But what do you think, Marcus?
Yeah, no, that was literally like a perfect idea. I wouldn't want anyone else to win one more than him, than like Melo. I'm rooting for him the whole way. I think even with Booker in his face mask, they're still a healthier team than whichever team they face. The winner of this East series.
Am I the only one, by the way, that gets really fucked up whenever I see those face masks? Like that shit just like, honestly, like it's in my nightmares.
You know what's crazy? He wore the face mask for the one game, didn't wear it for the other two, but the 2 games he didn't wear, he got hit in the nose.
Yeah, it happens, bro. It happens, yeah. High elbows, play ball.
Now, since Mike went into like top 5 point guards, okay, now I'm saying Chris Paul wins this automatic first round Hall of Fame ballot, and he now probably has he's in my top 5.
Right.
He's in my top 5.
Now, I'll be the first person to say, like, I don't know enough to know if he's like top 5 all time, but you guys aren't the first people I've ever heard say that, right? Like, there are many respected NBA analysts, not saying that you guys aren't respected, but you feel what I'm saying, that have echoed the very same sentiments. You know what I mean? So, well, fuck me sideways. What am I, an asshole? I'm not going to disagree with everybody. I'll go ahead and fucking say that he is. I don't really give a shit if he wins a ring or not. I'm not really like emotionally attached to Chris Paul. But I do agree that the Suns are going to beat whoever comes out of the East. I'll agree with that because neither of these teams. I mean, like you guys said, that Trae Young's hurt, Giannis is hurt. He's got a fuck. Did you see that fall, by the way, by Giannis?
Oh, he hyperextended his knee.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, knees aren't supposed to do that.
Who gets MVP? Booker or Paul?
You're gonna see probably Paul get it over like assists over scoring because Paul's gonna maintain the score as much as Booker.
Yeah,
there's gonna have more in the assist column. It's gonna make that difference.
And also, though, Devin Booker has a lot longer to get another ring.
Yeah, they're gonna lean toward.
They're gonna give it to Paul because of all the years that he put in. And
I mean, he dropped 41 that last game,
but there's also
30 was in the second half.
Yeah, and there's also no doubt that was a great trade for the Suns because look, dude,
for sure.
You're telling me if the Suns didn't make that trade, they'd be in the finals right now? No,
not one bit. Not one bit. Because Chris Paul brings things to you on the court, but he also brings things to you in the locker room, and I think that's an unquantifiable piece of sports that we all miss. Is that presence to keep everybody grounded and that guy who can, drive the team. By the way, shout out to Colbs, who is, I don't know if you guys read the comments. I'll show them again. So he was talking about the finals, about who got hurt, who stayed healthy portion of the season. Colbs, Tyler, Jack, and Can, guys, everybody go check them out. That'd be cool. They're kind of fucking awesome. We love them.
Who's your top 5 point guards?
Like of all time.
All time?
Dylon.
Dylon. I play, AI.
Oh, yeah, dude, I forgot AI. My fault, bro. My
Fair enough.
Steve Nash. I was a huge Jason Kidd fan, but when I got into basketball, I watched that Nets team. I was a fan of him and Carter and Jefferson and fucking Kenyon Martin. That was the squad right there.
You don't want to bring up the Nets on this podcast, sir. We talk about passionate basketball teams.
No, I'm with the Knicks now, ride or die.
Knicks for life, baby.
Because I really like
orange and blue.
I want to say Curry, but I don't want to say Curry. And it's like I get what his scoring does for the NBA, but I feel like I don't see enough of the other stuff from him, and I just hate that scoring's the barometer.
He should be a shooting guard.
He should be.
I cannot argue with you, but I just have to say that of all the point guards, Steph Curry is one that revolutionized the modern game of basketball.
So without knowing
his range of shooting, though,
but for shooting, just for one thing,
but without knowing too much, my argument with the NFL for Hall of Fame is always it's either your stats or you're pertinent to the story of the game. Is Steph Curry not pertinent to the story of the National Basketball Association?
Yeah.
What's the rest of your top 5?
All right, so I got Kidd, Nash, Iverson, not in that order. It's got to be Chris Paul. Chris Paul up there, and I'm trying to think. I want to throw out there that I hate Russell Westbrook. Big, not a fan. Kind of like Cam Newton. Just don't like what he does for the game. Don't like how he treats his team. Like he was never going to win one, and he'll always be a villain to me.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
But a villain.
Yeah, my forehead getting big.
So, who are you talking about? Big foreheads, Mike? Shut the fuck up, man. Holy
that's not a forehead anymore, man. Yeah, it's only a forehead if you have hair. Bro.
It goes all the way back, big dog. So, Cole's has
Jerry West, Steph, Isaiah.
Okay,
it's not bad.
No, that's legit.
It's not bad.
He
likes
so.
If you mix in guys who you just say hypothetically play the point, like we could even say like LeBron James, because, but kind of for a good portion of his career,
right.
But I understand, dude. And the thing is, it's super subjective. It's just about who you think is better.
So my question, talking about CP3,
real quick, AI though was the best one, man. That was me as a kid. Everyone used to wear Iversons. It was my fault to put them on there. AI also changed the game, bro. Because when I was young, that's who kids liked, even more than Kobe.
Yeah.
In New York, down here, everybody was an Iverson fan, bro.
That's true. Speaking about CP3, Hector and I we had Mike from Game Point live on one of our lives previously, and we were talking about Pat Beverly being a whole ass bitch. Obviously, you guys fucking saw, Pat Beverly after the game, or during the game, towards the end of the game, Chris Paul walked by him and said whatever, and then got shoved in the back. I mean, I feel like I'll speak for everybody here. That's a complete fucking bitch move. If you're gonna swing, make sure someone is fucking standing before you swing. Don't if you gotta tap him on the shoulder, get him to turn around, and then fucking cold clock him. That's what you gotta do. But fucking pushing him from the back. Is Pat Beverly the biggest bitch in the NBA of all time, or?
I feel like Pat Beverly. This is just what he does. He tries to get under people's skin. He does whatever he has to do. It's a little excessive when he does it to this extent. But at the same time, Chris Paul, for every little thing, Chris Paul's hitting the deck. He's smart. He's not stupid. He's not stupid.
Comparatively speaking, he's a smaller dude.
I really just want to know what the fuck he said to him. I just want to know what he said to him to make him do that.
I feel like you could have said you're going home to Beverly and he would have fucking done that. I feel like you didn't have to fucking say anything. Beverly's that kind of dude who's going to pull a bitch move like that.
It doesn't matter, though, because we don't want to put words in Beverly's mouth. We'd like to give him a chance to speak for himself. But at the same time, it's not a good look, bro. It's a painful loss, but
conduct yourself.
You say a good game and you just go to the locker room and just be like, fuck that guy. But you just don't, you just don't do it. You just don't do it like that.
Right, you want to play tough, you want to commit, tough fouls in the paint and do whatever you got to do, fine. But homeboy's walking away and you shove him, I don't know, it looked like a bitch move, Santa. I don't know what to tell you.
Speaking of Santa,
yeah, you know it. Look at that beautiful thing. All right, what else you guys got for me, or is it my turn?
Your turn, dude.
All right, hold on real quick. So Colb's hit me with the Clippers played dirty all game. It's not a hot take. Just watch the game. I'll admit to not watching the game.
DeMarcus Cousins tried to shout out Chris Paul, and he was like, that's why nobody wants to play with your soft ass or whatever. But DeMarcus Cousins is a dirty ass player himself. If you saw him get the ball to go to pass it inbounds, he took the jab at Chris Paul.
Okay.
He threw that elbow out trying to connect with him.
So, like I said, I didn't watch the game. I'll openly admit to that. I've been trying to get better at watching basketball, but I'm fucking busy, man. Holy shit, I'm busy. But my topic as of right now is, me, I love my football. I love my college football. NCAA has repealed NIL, name, image, likeness. That means players can now make money off of their name, image, and likeness. So being used in video games, signing their name on an autograph, if they want to do fucking commercials, if they want to hop on here and we pay them $10, whatever the deal may be, they're not going to lose eligibility. Yes, Mike, the price point is $10. They're not going to lose eligibility or anything like that. So, you know, I'm happy about this. You know, I'm all for making money off of your hard work. Anybody who says a scholarship is fucking, you know, they're getting paid with free college. That's proprietary money that they can use at one place and one place only, and doesn't guarantee them shit because a bachelor's degree is fucking worthless these days. So for people who claim that, I'm sorry if you guys do. I disagree so strongly with that. It's not even funny. These guys are out there from fucking 5 o'clock in the morning to fucking 10 o'clock at night, either with school or film or workouts or games or practice, and all they're allowed to do is go to school for free. No, I disagree with that shit so strongly. It's not even funny, especially since like 0.01% of these guys are going to make the NFL, the MLB, not only guys, but, you know, women's leagues as well, professional softball, all of these things, you know, 0.01% are going to make those leagues where they can get paid. So they're going to risk your body so that these schools can make all this money and they're not going to get anything off of it. Nah, that's bullshit to me.
And they're making all the money?
That's what I'm saying. The schools are making ticket money, jersey sales, all of these things, and no one bats an eyelash. But the second fucking players want to fucking make money off of their name. Oh, God forbid. God forbid. So, by the way, Hector, Colb's asked you, did you catch everyone taking shots at Booker's face?
Yeah, he got connected Yo, that nose, man. That thing was a whole straight, like Zorro was just like, sa, sa, sa.
He said, and Bucks, who's obviously rooting for the Bucks. But what do you guys think about the NCAA repealing this name, image, likeness bullshit?
It's just about time. Yeah, the restriction was just so that they could have some sort of extra power over their product, right? And there's a whole big thing wrong with the NCAA as an organization already, and the amount of money that they bring in from bowl games and all these seasons, and like, you wonder, you see these great stadiums and uniforms and all that, but where is this money going? Like, who's really getting paid if we still have just like struggling athletes without time to do anything else but play a sport that they don't make any money off of?
Yep. I mean, you got guys like Najee Harris, who just came out talking about how he was homeless and evicted and living in, you know, in his family's car and shit like this. That's not the way you promote, or that's not the way you treat guys who make you millions of dollars. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Maybe it's because I work in sales. Maybe because I draw value off of what you can bring. And maybe I'm a dickhead like that, but I just don't understand not fucking paying players.
Mike?
Look, man. Yeah, so it would be a situation. You're a goofy goober, bro.
I guarantee Hooves on vitamins.
Here's the thing. It would be a different situation if college football, college sports in general, didn't generate so much revenue.
Right.
If college sports were low revenue, no real money in it, and they weren't getting paid, just getting a scholarship, that'd be understandable. It'd be like, okay, cool, that's fair compensation. But when you look at the amount of money that it generates, the people who are producing the products have to be compensated, right? And that's literally what they do. College athletes produce a product. The production is hours in the gym, hours at practice, all these things, and they perform. It's a performative act on the field or the court or whatever, and it generates money. So legally, it's just wrong to not compensate them somehow. Tuition is not fair compensation. They deserve something.
Well, you said it right there, Mike, because right now they don't get compensated for what they're doing on the field, but yet you're walking into the stores, all their shit got their names, and they're not getting a goddamn percentage of any of their name. That's their name. How do you not get compensated for your name?
Little bobbleheads, when NCAA football games were a thing, and I know mostly we focus in the context of football, but fucking baseball, softball, soccer, all of these draw fucking revenue in some way, shape, or form.
Like March Madness generates so much revenue, dude, and it's everywhere. It's huge for a month, and those players don't get a single cent other than whatever tuition.
Right. They'll get like fucking. I obviously I'm on TikTok. I follow a bunch of athletes. They'll get swag bags. Okay, so they get free fucking beats. They'll get a little thing that said they competed in March Madness. They'll get like a fucking duffel bag of cool gear. Okay, awesome. I'm glad I can eat that. I'm glad I can put a roof over my head with that. Huzzah!
I'm sleeping in right now because I'm homeless.
Seriously, yeah.
Okay, so now the topic comes up where now they're saying we can make money, and we got players that want their Heisman trophies and their stats reinstated because they were so-and-so making money off their name when it was illegal.
Yeah, I don't think it changed the work they did on the fields. You can't just erase it from history.
Reggie Bush wants his Heisman and his stats reinstated to USC, and he wants his Heisman trophy.
Thanks.
Hashtag free Reggie Bush. So who, by the way, is asking about Mike because he looks like Jason Boda.
You know what? Everybody knows the Fab Five.
Yep.
I'm Mike Earn.
Mike Earn.
I'm well-known, well-regarded. Pleasure to meet you. Was that who?
It's your boy.
It was
Hoove. Dude, nice to meet you, bro. Have Smurf give you my info. I want to talk about the cost of your. I want to invest in your stake in the team. 50% or something.
Who you might think he's joking. He assuredly is not.
He's 100% not joking.
Mike is very
smart man.
But no, yeah. As far as like Reggie Bush goes, I mean, shit that happened to wasn't it Chase Young the last year in college? He flew his girlfriend out to
every single person who has ever had their shit, taken off record or whatever. They're trying to get reinstated. That's why I went to. There was other sports like the Fab Five. There's Reggie Bush. There's there was another name I saw that was college football. Off the top of my head,
Manziel.
Johnny
Manziel.
Like we said before we hopped on, could you imagine the amount of money Johnny Manziel would have?
Tebow still would have blew him out the water
in the Bible Belt. But Johnny Manziel would have won everywhere where you can sell crack, and we both know it.
Smart. How are those things related?
What Johnny Manziel is like the poster boy for fucking crack. So he would have like New York City, like inner city Chicago, like the jersey sales would have been through the roof and he would have made money. Tim Tebow would have won in like Missouri and like Florida, Kansas, like the Bible Belt. Like, yeah.
I just did not even know Johnny Manziel had a crack habit.
Wasn't that one of his fucking issues? Is that like
he had alcohol and pills and he was on all types.
I'm going around a lot of Johnny Manziel slander, and I'm almost not sorry
there was
for
an
it.
NBA player who had a crack thing too, Lamar Odom. I don't know if you remember that. But Lamar Odom played for the Lakers, and he put a bunch of videos of him out there on the internet smoking crack, rapping with his friends.
Fucking Lawrence Taylor was on crack goddamn every fucking game. I mean, shit happens, bro.
Colbs, yes, but they didn't give him the trophy. They didn't. They didn't technically in the books. No one won the Heisman that year.
Right, and although all of us who are like sports people who fucking watch the game understand that, history won't. Like when we all die off and our kids are around and no longer hear the bullshit. I'm tired of hearing that story, Grandpa. When that shit dies,
they gotta go look it up.
You're not gonna know Reggie Bush won that Heisman.
And they won't see it.
History, it's history, and yes, I agree with you wholeheartedly. We all know, sports people know, but history will kill them.
Reggie Bush is, if not first, at least no later than second best college player of all time.
Best college running back of all time. Calling I get real fucking iffy around calling.
His season. I'm saying he had one of the best probably the first or second
Horrible
college seasons.
I can
Of
give
all
that. I can give that to you. By the way, did we lose Marcus and Mike at the same time?
No, I'm still right here. I'm rocking on the side. I was actually just looking at.
He's our Hembo, man.
he's diving through the stats right now.
He's our Hembo. He's
Yeah.
literally was like, dude, I need a charger because I'd be pulling up stats right now. In the cut, not in the camera, just like he usually is.
What's it matter to him? The fact that history won't see it. Here's a Viking proverb. Here's a Norse proverb. Cattle will die, crops will die, I too will die, but my legacy never will. If Reggie Bush's legacy isn't reinstated, it will die. That's why it matters. Yes, Reggie Bush won't be here in 100 years to see his legacy, but it's his legacy. Yeah, I would care about that if I was him. I'd make the world's largest stink. I'd drain every fucking penny I had in my bank account to fucking make this argument.
Yo, check out that charge set, bro.
Cut it out, Mike Ern.
I just walk out of the bathroom. I just hear Swerve getting all philosophical. I just hear like,
Oh, also,
He was saying Reggie Bush won't be here to see history, so why should he care about his non-Heisman? And I said, well, because it's his legacy. Yes, eventually he won't be here to see his legacy, but it's his legacy. If I won that Heisman, I'd want history to know it.
all right, you want some philosophy?
no, not really.
Go ahead.
On the MLB side, because Marcus
Ooh,
is
good. I'm glad you went there because I have some shit.
on the MLB side because Marcus is a huge Mets fan.
Bro.
20 to what? the
They
other
just
day?
lost 20-2 to the Braves.
God,
But
No, they didn't. What?
happy Bobby Bonilla Day.
Yeah, so hold on. We're not going to gloss over it. You said 20-2. 20-2.
Oh yeah, second time the Braves scored 20 this year on the team.
But yes, happy Bobby Bonilla Day.
Ask you a question as a Mets fan.
Get in the show.
My question as a Mets fan is: do you guys think that the Mets are good? Look what they have. Look at the pitching. Look at the hitters, the star, the now fourth largest
Serious
paid
question
contract
going, man.
in baseball. And
Seriously?
Bobby Bonilla hasn't been paid. Yeah, Francisco Lindor's
So,
contract was like fifth or fourth largest.
He was on the Mets twice, and the last time he was on the Mets was 1990.
Oh yeah, I know this. I thought we were asking seriously are the Mets a good question.
It was.
No,
it
I'm
was
kind of still curious because all the talent that they have, and they do win, but then they lose greatly, and then they win, and then they lose greatly.
well, right now they're leading the division,
Exactly, like they win, but then they lose 20-2.
but they're the best team in the division, and you have the best pitcher in baseball.
Yeah, I'm down with the Grom.
The best
Everyone's
pitcher
down with the
who
Grom.
also racks up his own shit to make sure he gets the win.
So if I had to answer honestly and unbiasedly, yes. The
And
New York
right
Mets
now,
are a good baseball team.
They are.
Nemo's
They
coming
are.
back.
The Mets are good.
Nemo's coming back. He's
Did you just need that little booster, that little pat on the back, Marcus? That little yes. Don't worry about the 20-2. They're okay.
Knew I wanted the validation. I need someone else
No.
to say it with me.
Nah, and Mark knows I give him the hard truth because I'm a Yankee fan and we go at it all the time. But
I don't want to talk about that.
fantasy team, Nemo's coming back from the injury because that's a race and he plays great defense in the outfield. You know, DeGrom's already doing his thing, and as long as they manage his little injuries, his little tweaks, and they don't overextend him with too many innings, he'll be fine. They'll run away with this division.
Oh yeah, I think the Mets will be just fine. I wouldn't stress too much. I mean, shit, the fucking Sox just beat the brakes off the Royals, fucking 15-1. So I wouldn't lose sleep.
I want to talk about real quick how people that like to talk. I mean, I don't want to go to extent, but a lot of teams talk about the Yankees losing, but for some reason their teams keep losing to the Orioles. So obviously, us, the Yankees, we've taken care of the Orioles every year. We have taken care of them this year. The Red Sox get their ass kicked a lot by the Orioles this year. They got swept earlier this season. The first week of the season, they got swept. And then the Astros go on an 11-game winning streak and then turn around and lose like 3 out of 4 to the Orioles.
See, those like small pictures of the game are why I fucking hate baseball sometimes. It's a 162 game season. You can't look at these like small snapshots. As far as like the fucking Sox go, I will say your argument that you put out, on the pre-recorded episode this week is that, yeah, the Sox swept the Yankees this month so far, but they're only 6.5 games ahead. We've still got 6 games to go with them this month alone. That fucking means nothing. So that I'll agree with you, but the Orioles are tough division plays all the time. So they're going to play the Sox tough.
Houston's not a division play with the Orioles. I'm just saying those fans of those teams talk so down on the Yankees, but keep losing to one of the worst teams in baseball.
Yeah, but the Yankees just fucking chased Shohei Ohtani with 7 runs in the first and wound up losing 11-7. So, I mean, the Yankees right now are really fucking hard to defend. I would love to take your side in this, but the Yankees are really fucking hard to defend right now.
They are.
I saw that, I was like, oh, the Yankees chased fucking probably the best player in baseball right now. Fucking awesome. And then they lost 11-7. So, it's fucking hard. But what I will say about baseball is, wasn't it Trevor Bauer who was speaking out so loudly against this sticky substance situation and calling the MLB a joke and all of these things? Am I right on that, or am I wrong?
He said a little bit. He said they should just allow hitters to use whatever they want and pitchers to use whatever they want and just like let it be.
I feel like he was one of the more outspoken people, but did you see his issues recently?
No, yes. Have you seen it, Mark? Have you seen it, Mike? So if you guys didn't, I'll fill you guys in, and then we'll see what you guys feel about this real quick. Okay. Trevor Bauer had an encounter with a woman, and now she comes out with a lawsuit of pretty much sexual assault.
Violence. Yeah.
Pretty much sexual assault and rape. Now I read the article and it went into some deep detail, and if you guys don't want to listen to this, don't, and I'll try to be as vague as possible, but pretty much to the extent of he allegedly on several occasions pretty much choked her
out, right.
Multiple different ways of choking her. One example was her own hair until she was unconscious while having a sexual encounter. Allegedly multiple times.
Right.
And another incident was where allegedly he punched her in the face and went to the hospital and a bunch of different stuff. And baseball hasn't made a step in right now,
right,
to say anything. The investigation is still literally going on. Right. There are
now there are text messages apparently from her to Trevor that paint a different story, that some of these things happened, but they were requested. I'll be the first person to say that I'm not going to speak on it. I wasn't fucking there. That's not what I'm asking. But I do find the timing of Trevor Bauer speaking out against this new policy and then these things happening, not saying it was manufactured. I am not at all. But I find it suspect.
That would happen in Texas, right? Let's take it right there real quick. Yeah. To a man who decides he doesn't want to play football anymore for that organization, and before he can get out of there,
no,
something happens.
Say what you said. Say what you said. No, I'll say it for you. I'll say it for you because I said it on one of our episodes way back. Check the receipts. I said what I said. I said, what if the organization was like, word, you don't want to play? Bet how easy it is to pay a woman X amount of dollars over the contract they owe this man to say something.
Not even on an even deeper fact than that. Like, let's not even say that all these women are lying. I'm not going to be that guy.
No.
Go there.
Well,
Let's just say that everyone has their dirty secrets, and no one cares about what you do until you go to make a decision, and then they use their power to expose whatever the dirty.
I said what I said, Cobes.
And well, that's kind of, two people always have these. Two people can have a very interesting relationship that means nothing to nobody until one of your decisions means a lot to somebody, and now your whole shit's in the public, and now our whole perception changes over something we don't know about. We can't speak about. We weren't there. I wasn't there.
First of all, I love how the energy in that room changed. We're talking baseball. Mike's chilling back. Marcus is doing whatever. He's asking about the Mets and wallowing in his 20-2. And then the conspiracy theory comes out. Everybody's on screen. We're all jumping the fuck on.
Well,
but no, in all honesty, Marcus isn't wrong.
Facts only. Like, everything they said was true. Truly legitimate, like, considerations as to why the situation is the way it is.
100%.
Before how I said best case scenario, worst case scenario, then I meet in the middle, right? Same idea, man. There's always two sides to every story, and I'm sure I really get a good sense that the truth of this situation lies somewhere in the middle. Somebody may have been wrong. Sometimes maybe things were consensual, and all it takes is the of these things of, like, you had an experience with this person, would you be willing to change the way you look at it? Because it's just perspective. Not going to be a popular thing to say, but the line between the line between consent and assault is whether or not the person wants it to happen. So
by definition,
maybe I'm just saying, maybe in a moment you want it to happen, later on you regret it or something like that. Maybe many situations that can happen. And so I do find it very convenient for people who are looking to destroy Deshaun Watson to have that extreme number. It's really how big the number of people is that actually raises the red flag.
The thing is, the thing with that, Mike, though, is that it went up to about 22, right?
Somewhere in that range.
After they found one false woman to be putting up, the number started drastically dropping.
And then a bunch of them wanted to settle.
The number just instantly, like, people pulling out of the case because they if they catch her, I'm not saying it's true. Maybe they're afraid. Maybe they're afraid and they're like, oh man, maybe they won't believe me. I just got to pull out, or whatever goes. I can't speak for it, but it's just fishy that once one gets caught, a bunch of other are just starting to drop their case.
And I'm going to finish my point. I'm going to finish my point, but it's just like this. If somehow the Houston Texans are behind what's happening here, even if a few of them are telling the truth, they deserve justice however they can get it. But if the Houston Texans are behind elaborating it and increasing the number and manufacturing certain situations, not all of them, but certain situations, they deserve not – I don't think the NFL can punish them, but Deshaun Watson should litigate against them. He should own the team. He should sue them, and he should get so much money that he buys the fucking Texans, because that would be, in terms of a professional thing to do to an employee, somebody who works for you, that's as bad as it can get. So
I agree with that wholeheartedly.
Not a good situation for anybody involved. I just hate that it's become that. Man. Discretion is the better part of valor.
I agree with that wholeheartedly. And as it relates to Trevor Bauer and Deshaun Watson, like you said, the line here is whether you say yes or no.
Who said hi?
The line here is consent. Who said hi?
Remy.
Right.
She came running out the room barking. You didn't hear her?
I did. I just didn't know which one it was.
She's like,
but
shut up, I disagree.
But the point being is that the motives are always obviously in question, and the timing is just suspect. And we've all known the major leagues, no matter what sport it is, to be shady in some way, shape, or form. You can point at a situation in each major league where they're like, okay, I don't know if I fucking believe them or not. You know what I mean? Fuck. Pete Rose still isn't in the Baseball Hall of Fame. So do I trust baseball as a whole, God fucking no. You know what I mean? So I'm not taking a side. I'm not saying what did or didn't happen. None of us were there. No one's taking a side. But it is convenient, to say the least, that voices get outspoken and then all of a sudden things start to pop up, whether that be manufactured by the league or convenient timing, whatever that may be. I find it interesting, at least as far as Trevor Bauer goes. As far as Deshaun Watson, we haven't heard anything in a while, to my knowledge. I mean, he went to a wedding the other day, fucking with a gorgeous woman on his arm and dancing, breaking it down. So, I mean, he doesn't seem to be stressing too much right now.
We haven't heard anything from there, and I don't believe he plays this year.
There's a lot of consideration that he doesn't.
Because of all the legal action, it's just he won't be able to play. They won't let him play.
Do you not find it interesting that we're in OTAs and mini camps right now, and the NFL still hasn't made a decision?
Well, I'm just gonna extrapolate Hector's point really quick.
Yeah,
I don't think he plays this year. I don't think anybody touches him for at least a year. I don't think teams trade for him.
Not until everything's done.
Yeah, I don't think teams trade for him. I don't think people try to work out a deal. I think he's going to sit out. I don't think that he's going to play for the Texans. I don't think anyone's going to trade for him until this all gets resolved because it's just too much of a situation. So that's just, I agree.
Yeah, I'll agree there. I think it's dicey for a team to come within fucking breathing distance. I mean, I'm sure there are teams monitoring the situation, but you look like you got something to say, Ugly. What's up?
I don't know. I feel like, all right, so since we're on the football topic and we went over our favorite teams as Jets fans and we went over Mike's favorite team as the Titans fan.
Yeah, boy.
Pretty expansion teams.
Over the Birthday Boys' favorite team. Let's talk a little bit about the Giants.
Big Blue Nation, baby.
Marcus obviously knows the most. I probably know the second most because I am a Giants fan still.
And first of all, hold on. Before we get there, Hector's not allowed to answer this question because he already has. Mike and Marcus, do you believe that you can have two favorite teams in one league?
Absolutely not.
No.
Absolutely.
I busted chops for the time. The reason I don't because we're one of the. But just think of how rare a situation it is. Like I live in Rhode Island, right? And all of New England shares one team. All of those states, they have no choice but to share that love for their Patriots. But we're so grand on ourselves. We have the choice to choose between two teams at home and still be at home somehow.
So nobody likes that ridiculously political answer.
Well, I'm like, look, I am a Jets fan. If the Giants and Jets ever met in the Super Bowl, I am rooting Jets. When they play preseason, I am rooting Jets. I have nothing against the Giants. I have no real rivalry except the New York rivalry, but at the same time, there's no real Giants-Jets rivalry.
Fuck the Giants.
You know? And
first off,
typical,
right?
Typical.
Piss off too. Secondly, I do like to remind him that he isn't just famous. Like, yeah, go Giants. Like, calm down. That's my team.
And
all right, I was like, go Giants when they played Tom Brady. All right, I was between a rock and a hard.
If you're gonna win, why not? If my team's not ever gonna make the playoffs and win and in my lifetime win a Super Bowl, might as well root for the other New York team if they're there. And I have no quarrel with them. They have a good team. And if they're playing Boston, hell yeah, I want them to win.
I mean, any team that plays Boston will win.
All right, Cobes, I see you, bro.
But no, Marcus, go ahead. Tell us.
The only thing I need left in my life, like the Giants already beat. The Giants already beat Tom Brady. The Giants already beat Tom Brady, right? The only thing I need in my life is for the Jets to finally make a Super Bowl against Tom Brady and beat them too.
Yeah, it's nice when I play Madden as well. But anyway,
quick philosophy. So you can't have two favorite teams because the word favorite implies a singularity of choice. Favorite means single thing that you like the best. So you can't have two. You can only have one.
I agree with Mike here. But Marcus, talk to us about you and K-Sub's Giants, man.
K-Sub.
I mean, what about him? Where do we start? Do you think?
So why is Daniel Jones that bad?
No, whoa! Don't
He's not that bad.
He needs to fix his fumbling issue, but he has the best long ball in the NFL so far.
His deep ball is beautiful.
Yeah.
He can get you that 10 yards with his legs.
Plus, if need be,
trip at the 20.
Trip. I knew that was coming. Yeah.
He doesn't trip.
Your run game. You got Saquon looking like he doesn't want to say when he's coming back, but he looks like he's gonna be week 1 ready.
And you guys got some free agents too.
All right, so look at it, right? So this is the year. If it doesn't happen this year, like something's definitely way wrong because we've got Danny Dimes, who I believe in. We've got Saquads with them giant legs, and Devontae Booker, I believe, at 2. What else are we working with? Kenny Galladay.
You got Kenny
Great
Galladay.
steal.
You got Kyle Rudolph.
I'm a huge Sterling Shepard fan who we stayed true to.
Pretty good.
I was a big fan of Darius Slayton last year. And if we're going to talk about Daniel Jones' deep ball, I want to see Darius Slayton on the other end breaking away from people. And then I've always been an Ingram fan, but the drops.
They got Kyle Rudolph from the Vikings.
But I hope that we can still use him because I wouldn't want to see him leave.
Yeah.
I like that body type at a tight end.
So question for you.
I agree with you. I like the body type, but he just can't catch a fucking ball.
No, he can. He just doesn't focus. Question: if Ingram doesn't show up and produce this year, do they trade him?
Yes.
They get rid of him
Yes.
mid-season, or they're gonna ride out the season.
No, he has to be amazing for them to stick with him because as great as the talent is, the numbers aren't. So when it's contract time, that's when you
and
see
he gets injured.
That's when you see the business kick in that we all hate now. Free agency. Your people don't stay. I was and will always be a huge Odell fan. Right, broke my heart when he left. It's business. It's money. So as much as I want to see it, unless he's a breakout star and they're like, we have to pay this guy to keep him, he's gone. That's kind of what happens to your talent. You're either great enough to stay or like they have to let you leave. So they trade him to get whatever value they possibly could. That's
K-Sub's
right,
in the house.
Yep.
K-Sub's in the house. What up, K-Sub? We remember you, bro. Don't forget.
He always is. We gotta have him on, man.
So Mike, you look down the NFC East.
Yeah.
You look down the NFC East, and
Hold on, let's go to the Giants one more time.
yeah. You go. That's what I'm giving you. You go down the NFC East. What is the record you're giving for the Giants?
10
Okay,
wins.
so I like the Giants' skill position.
10-7.
I really do. I like their skill position.
Kadarius Toney we drafted too.
Yeah, and I think that Daniel Jones, Danny Dimes is actually pretty decent. I don't think he's bad. Like you could have way worse.
Again, and this is one of those things where guys don't need to develop. We don't need to draft in the first round and they win games.
But there's
I want
a
to see the
major
progression.
caveat, though.
How long did it take Eli to get to his first Super Bowl?
There's
and I still love those Super Bowls.
There's a major caveat. I really am concerned about their offensive line still. They just haven't had a good offensive line in years, like 3, 4, 5 years. And they haven't improved it. They got a little better. They're better than they were 3 years ago on the offensive line. But, like, Chase Young is in their division. Okay, so Washington's not that good, but they have a good player in Chase Young. So if you don't have anybody to block him, he'll just ruin your game plan all day.
Montez Sweat on the other side.
Yeah, that puts them at a disadvantage against Washington. Dallas.
So what record?
I think they're even.
What record? What would you give them?
I'm say like 500. I'm say like 9 or 8 or 9 wins because I don't think Philly's going to be good at all. I don't think Philly's going to be good.
No.
Dak is coming back, but it's Dallas. You know they're dysfunctional.
Why did you have to say that? Why? Literally, the minute he said that, Christy's like in the background, woo! Probably with her Dak is back T-shirt on.
We heard.
So I think usually when I think Cowboys Jets, I always think of a split. I always think home and home or something like that, or even they win a spot. So I would say I think Redskins win that division with 10 wins. Giants are second or third with like 8 wins.
I gotta do it. I gotta do it real quick. I gotta do it. Oh no, yeah, I still gotta do it. I'm gonna do it now, and then I'm gonna give my prediction on the Giants. Come here, Mark. Come here, birthday boy. You see this guy, guys? You see this man? This is Marcus. This is Marcus right here. This guy was the previous champ of the Degenerates League.
Marcus, meet you both, bro.
He was the previous champ. He was the man who beat my best boy. And then last year, for the second year in a row, to decide who goes to the chip, because he beat me the first time to win it, I took him out because Alvin Kamara went off for 6 fucking TDs.
You notice like watching all the game with your family and like playing against Hector and thinking, oh, with this win, I go to the championship. And then he's got Kamara and he gets a touchdown. You're like, all right, that sucks, but you knew it was going to happen, right? And then he gets another touchdown. And you're like, that was going to happen. And then the third touchdown comes. You're thinking, all right, that's a lot of touchdowns. I mean, it's only the second quarter? Really?
That's 3. That's a lot. 3 is a lot. He'll be fine.
Yo, by 4, I was sick. At 5, I was like, are you serious? And literally at 6, I asked if we could change the channel. Like, I was with my girl, and we're all watching it together, and I was like, please. And I explained it to them, and we put something else on. It was.
He texted me instantly at 6 and was like, good game, sir. Good game.
Yeah, literally after like the third touchdown, I was like, yeah, there's no way I'm coming back. And that was the first game of the week. That was like a Thursday night game, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it was.
Where he lost his fucking
mind. And I'm the reigning champ. Degenerate's coming back.
I love how Hector wins one season. Hector wins one season and forgets like the 18 hours he spent in a Waffle House. Like the high and mighty over there.
Yeah, from worst to first.
From worst to first. Hey, shout out to Super Dave.
Crazy. He had the number 1 pick as the commissioner, went worst to first. Crazy how that works out. Conspiracies.
76ers, right? Trust the process. Trust the process right there.
I'm just saying, I won. Now we got a second female and a second Cowboys fan in the league.
So I know I'm not going to be last.
Yeah, I just want to warn you about my Sharks, especially my new friend that's joining in. Obviously, you remember Mike and TradeGate and all that stuff.
Nick Simeone.
All right, hold on. Can we officially settle this? How do you pronounce his last name? Officially settled.
It is Simeone.
Simeone. Okay. Yeah.
We were right.
It was confusing. I kept going Simeone, and then I was like Simeone. I don't know. It was. I was struggling a lot.
Yeah, no, he's a real cool kid, but I don't know why he ended up dropping out. But the kid we added, like between me, him, and Mike, I mean, we'll all probably be in about 20 fantasy leagues in a season. We all do about, Mike did 7 last year. I did 5. His boy did 6.
I'm about to do like 4 or 5.
And I mean, in those like 6 that Mike did, I think he had 2 first place, 3 second place, and a third place. Like we're on it. I do this. Yeah, last year I had the 3rd place in our league, which was tough, but I'll take that. And then what I have at 3rd place, 2nd place, and then a couple scrubs honestly. But we're sharp. I'm looking at so many stats every single day that it's like all I see is numbers, and it's beautiful. I love it. That's the thing.
See, as someone I like fantasy football, but I was one of the latest people to join it because I hate stats. I hate analytics. I hate, and not that they're good tools to understand the game. That Mike, I understand that you guys know the game. I'll never question that, but there are so many people who fall back. But this stat here and that stat there, oh, fucking great. Tony Romo, statistically, is one of the greatest quarterbacks to have ever played the game.
It doesn't give you a real picture. But to that same note, remember before you mentioned how you were too tired to watch some of these basketball games? I have been too, and in the morning, I'll wake up. ESPN's one of the first things I scroll, and I'll check the box score of the game, and the stats tell me the story. Oh, he had this many rebounds. He had this. I'll get the team stats, see who had the most turnovers, points for, and you can almost, but you have to know the game and then see the stats. Play it out in your head. I didn't see Chris Paul drop 41, but in the morning I woke up and I read that box score, and I could see Chris Paul drop 41.
Well, you can watch it in your head, though.
That's kind of football stats as well, yeah.
I'm not going to lie. And guys, so Marcus is not one guy to really brag. He's really not. He has very few moments where you see him be like, test me.
When I'm playing Madden.
Exactly. And I will tell you now, guys, we have, and he still has it. It's probably still in the trunk of his car.
It's still in the trunk. Yeah.
Still the trunk of his car. We have years of stats of literally just because we lived with each other as roommates for a while and playing nothing but Madden, Black Ops Zombies, FIFA, 2K.
Everything. Goals scored, touchdowns thrown, most
Every
yards
stat
in
you
the
can.
game.
Christ.
You wrote it down.
And every
We've
time
had.
you'd beat somebody's stat, we'd cross it up. We'd be checking the scores after every game to see who did what and how many this and what records we had. I've got every win-loss for about like a 3-year span between me, him, and another friend, all on a couple sheets of paper.
No, yeah, he got. I'm not gonna lie. Like I will still say I was his best competition though. He's had some good ones.
He didn't say that shit. He paused real heavy.
Right?
Damn.
He's got the most wins against me, but he's also got the most losses. I'm happy to play 1,000 games with someone and 10 games with someone else, right?
I
No,
love
but
how Hector talks his shit and Marcus is like, yeah, okay.
No, I give it to him. If anyone wants to test their luck in Madden, I would say good luck. Because we had one game where it was like 94-93.
Can we commit, hand to God, like no fucking around, can we commit to you guys, like I'll bring my camera, I'll bring the whole setup, to recording a fucking game of you guys playing Madden?
You would probably destroy me right now because I haven't played Madden in a while, but you give me
not like right now. Like we can set up like a date and
that's what I'm saying. I'm saying like if we were to play, he would beat me right now. But you give me a week or like 2 weeks to warm up, I'll be ready.
I will count that. I will count that if I'm gonna remember this in the future.
Giants versus Jets.
But FIFA, he knows, was always a back and forth competition.
Not anymore.
That Portugal, Barcelona.
Not anymore.
Barca.
Playing it, I still play FIFA like a couple times a week, even by myself. I have my season going. Like I was gonna mention soccer before, but I don't know if you guys are big soccer fans.
No, yeah, I mentioned everything.
The Euros been going crazy. France lost, Germany lost, Portugal lost. Like it's.
I saw it's been kind of nuts, and now I don't really give a shit. Viva Italia, if I have to. But
we used to go hard in 2K, bro.
Well, Italy's gonna be playing Belgium tomorrow, who's my pick to win this whole thing. But that's because. Again, knowing a little bit of soccer, the Belgium strikers, Lukaku's a beast. The Hazard
they got
brothers,
a solid defense too.
Yeah, they're a really good team.
Fair enough.
Yeah, we used to go hard in 2K too. 2K used to be a back and forth matchup all the time.
Yeah, basketball life. That was the one that was a back and forth matchup because Madden was lopsided.
Yeah. Madden was a little bit lopsided, but between
wait. Hector just walked it back. Hold on. You said you were the best competition, and now all of a sudden it's lopsided. Where are you standing?
Out of everyone that's been in that house, in that apartment, to play him in Madden, the level of competition,
one night stands don't count.
Loss and how many people I've seen lose compared to me beat this guy, like there was no one.
Just remember,
one night stands don't count.
You got to play the coach. That's why.
Yeah.
You know someone's tendencies. You get to know somebody as a person. We play together every day, man. I know what you want to do on 3rd and 4. I know what you want to do on fucking 2nd and 8. Like, and you guys know too. And I did it to one of my friends recently. He knows I always run on 1st down.
Dude, I know every fucking play he would play, but he gets me.
I want to eat those yardage on 1st down and make any 2nd down shorter. But you know what? When I do on 1st down, I got you. Like you thought I was going to.
Hector's always said you're like the ultimate fucking chess player, man. Holy shit.
No, literally.
I love chess. Chess also definitely a sport. I'm throwing that out there too.
Okay.
Mike, hold
up. So check this out. I jumped on SportsMe. Shout out to SportsMe. I jumped on SportsMe and I did a take the other day, which is why I told you. I text them. Because Marcus is one of those guys that played chess back in the day as a kid. Tournament style.
Chess club with the clock, yeah.
Yeah, he told me.
I asked them, is chess a sport?
100%. You're playing the man. It's competitive, and it's not just – it's some sort of athleticism that needs to be practiced and honed. Like, you don't just go out there and play chess and beat anybody. Like, the amount of moves you know, the setups, the situation.
So here's the question for all three of you. What constitutes a sport? What is or isn't a sport?
I think it comes down to the competitive nature of the actions between two parties, right? It's
so you can do something competitive between two parties.
Well, we have different conceptions of sport. What's the difference between playing a sport and driving a sports car? You see. So no, but here's the real thing. I think in earnest, it is the competitive nature of
He
it.
took it there.
What makes a sports car a sports car? It's better than other cars. It's more sporty.
Okay.
It's faster. It handles tighter. It looks better. It's
I
a
regret this immediately. I was not prepared.
It's a better version of a car. And so what is a
Okay.
sport? A sport is something where we push to be the best we can be. It's something we compete at. It's something that we try to do better than other people.
That's what I said. The competition between two
So wait,
parties.
hold on.
Well,
then
I'm giving you
producing a podcast, am I competing in a sport since I'm driving to be the best?
No.
well, you're not racing NASCAR, but if it's a sport to you, then
Well,
maybe it is.
there is separate definitions.
win?
There is a separate definition to what can be a sport. You know, physical exertion, sexual, like Derek had pulled up that one day. There was a bunch of different definitions of what is a sport or what can be.
I want to see Mike and Derek talk, by the way.
sport.
I think the
As a
competition needs to
sport.
be defined with some sort of winner. Really, what it comes down to, you got to be competing for something. Because I mean, there's
Like,
no winning in
so-
podcasts.
so
even if you're number one, are you winning? Like you're
Is
If
it
I'm
not.
making a couple $1 trillion, yes, Marcus, I'm winning.
Are horses athletes?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Is horse racing a
Woo.
sport or are they athletes?
They're competing
Yeah.
against each other.
Yeah, they're trained. They're competing
So
for
what-
something, for a goal at the end, for,
and they can
for
win
the carrot.
and lose.
So
all
first of all, can both of you download Sports Meet because I need these takes on there? And secondly,
I'm just way too busy for that, man. I'm sorry.
I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck, man. I'm way too busy too. I don't give a fuck.
I'm trying to make big deals, bro. I'm not trying to be on Sports Meet right now, bro. I'm trying to buy professional
Bro, look.
sports teams and stuff.
Shout out Hufu.
Let me know, bro. Let me know.
Fair enough. But no, I mean, okay, I guess that's fair. So then, wait, is turtle racing a sport? If I were to race turtles,
Facts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is.
does that make turtles an athlete?
Sport.
Like a shout out to Game Point Live. He's over here like hot dog eating isn't a sport.
Yes, it is.
Isn't
Yes,
a
it
sport.
is.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
I'm like,
You
you
have to
go
train for that shit.
Yeah.
fucking hot dogs in 3
Yeah,
minutes.
no, that's a sport. Someone
Yeah.
trained for that.
No, you're right.
You know?
It is a sport. It is a sport.
Oh, turtle racing. Well, some people think that's a sport. They train their little turtle to fucking run as fast
Yeah.
as they can.
Hey, if you think
Shout
horse
out-
racing is a sport, turtle racing has to be a sport too. Just a
Shout
little
out
slower.
to ESPN 8, the Ocho.
Ah,
Shout out to ESPN 8, the Ocho for all the obscure sports, bro. Keep it real. Keep it
my
100.
favorite. Bring back
Free
dodgeball.
Bring it
All
back.
right, gentlemen.
Oh, jam done.
Yeah,
Brooke
we got
Lopez.
we
got the Bucks
Hawks,
game on
yeah.
right now.
Bucks,
I'm
Hawks.
watching the box score on ESPN on my iPad here.
Staying up a little later than usual.
Yeah,
Well, that's what I was gonna say. I am gonna let you gentlemen go. I have a beer to drink and a piss to hang, and then I'm gonna go watch some sports. So unless you guys got any more topics,
Happy
Who? Why do you get to decide when we end the podcast, man?
because it
What
because
does
it
the three of us
it's-
want to do? I'm
because
I'm
it's
playing.
my podcast.
because it started and like
Don't
He's
even-
like the executive producer.
Don't listen to him.
He's the
I did not see women's cornhole, although that brings up a lot of sexual.
dude, I love watching cornhole, and I'm mad I missed it though.
I'll tell you, if anybody knows about cornhole,
It's hectic.
it's K-Sub.
Oh.
On that note, they said what they said,
Cornhole, yo.
and we'll catch you guys on next Thursday.
I want that on a shirt. I said what I said.
Slancha.
Merch coming next. Merch coming up.